Issues of hygiene are of paramount importance. Hygiene here transverses from a number of areas. I think right from when we start picking the crop, the ladies who do the picking for us have to cover their heads with headscarves. Their nails have to be kept clean and short. And again, this is a requirement because they have to be checked on every time they do the picking. Now from there, they have to use buckets that have to be cleaned and labeled. The buckets that we use for snaps are labeled snaps. The buckets for Oregon are labeled Oregon, and so on. And so these are the buckets into which we put the produce, which in turn has to be put into the crates, which are also washed, although we don't do the washing ourselves. They are normally washed at a central place because of fear, again, of contamination. Should any people who are handling the produce visit the latrines, they have to wash their hands. And that's why you find outside every latrine there is some container for washing their hands and some soap.
First, I have to keep the rod very clean. For example, if I get a litter somehow there, I collect it, then I put it to the dustbin where I burn it. Then also myself must also be clean. I have to wash my hands. If I'm going to harvest, I wash my hands. I wash the utensils which I'm going to use when harvesting. Also the bucket that I'm using, those must also be clean.
We've gotten to see this now as part of our own life, because apart from selling this crop, we also eat the same. We have cabbages from the farm that we also eat, and carrots and so on. And so when you try to think of hygiene standards, like also keeping dogs away from the farm and so forth, it's not only beneficial to those who are going to eat the produce from the other end, it's also useful to us. I think one vital lesson I've learned from this kind of farming is on record keeping. Because initially we were not keeping records on what it is that we put into production, the production cost and so on. And so we could never tell whether we're making profit or going at a loss. But now through EUREPGAP standards and record keeping, because basically it's all about records, we're doing the same in all other areas, and we are now able to know the direction we are taking. So we actually value that very much.
I do advise the farmers on how to operate on day-to-day basis. What we normally advise the farmers about is just about how to plant the seeds, how to weed the plants, and how to stake the plants and the stages, after which we follow the other. The next thing is about we tell or advise the farmer on all the chemicals to be applied to a certain disease or a certain pest. At the beginning, this was the first group to be EUREPGAP audited, and we had a lot of challenges that we faced. At first it was difficult, but later as they learned the importance of it, they started to be adapted, and they did it with good heart.